When the fiscal year was over for WB, we learned that last year they lost $2.2 billion. And now with The Flash doing what it's doing at the box office, a brand new report by Deadline breaks down some of these numbers. We learned that just DC as a film brand has lost WB $1.2 billion in the last year. Okay, so what we're talking about here is that among the $2.2 billion loss that they saw in the last fiscal year, 1.2 of that can be attributed to DC. Now, this is a little skewed because obviously the Batman came out and that goes towards last year. But what they're doing is essentially looking at the Flash and now compounding everything DC that was just the DCEU. And the DCEU has lost $1.2 billion between the releases of Black Adam, Shazam, and the Flash. Now this, I don't think I have to tell you, is absolutely catastrophic for a film company. And for the brand, and for pretty much anything and anybody and everything associated with it. Now, the reason that this is important is because if you think about this for a second, they just inherited everything from WB, and I'm talking about Discovery. So they had to cancel a bunch of films, projects, TV things, reshuffle everything, fire a bunch of people, put a bunch of new people into positions where they're calling the shots, and what you're seeing as a result of that is worse performance than what they had before. Now this is going to have a huge impact on every decision made going forward because the DC brand, outside of Batman and Joker, the last time it made money was with Aquaman 1. Now that's far removed. So there's a lot of problems here. And essentially what we're looking at is if this keeps up, and by the time that Aquaman 2 rolls around and Blue Beetle, we could be looking at a completely different amount of loss, assuming that these projects continue the trajectory set by the previous few. Now, we don't know what's going to happen with Blue Beetle, obviously. Aquaman is probably safe, unless something horrendous happens. I mean, who knows? It's a sequel, so a lot of people are expecting it to do worse. And I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But things are not looking good, and this type of loss is going to have huge ramifications on just about everything.